Hello, my name is Ben Bevins and I'm a student at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and today I'll be talking about conserving water in Nebraska. I'll start off by talking about why we want to conserve water. Water is something that falls from the sky, flows through rivers, and fills up our ocean. Why do we want to conserve it? I'll then discuss how you can save water at the home and finish this presentation by discussing how to save water in unconventional ways. So I want to start off with this picture. This is a lake, obviously not in Nebraska, and you can see that the water level has dropped significantly. This is where it used to be, this is where it is now. And before you think there's no scale to this picture, that boat down there is not a small one. It is a 2-story ferry. So this lake is drying up. Why do you care? Well, this is Lake Mead, and it will be dry in 2 more years by the year 2021. So this is bad. It provides water to 22 million people. So in 2 years, 22 million people will not have safe access to drinking water. At least not the source that they're used to. And this is happening all over the country and all over the globe. The Colorado River is drying up. Already there are states arguing over who gets what water for water sources that run through multiple states. And poor countries are having violent conflicts over who gets what water. And before you think we have the Ogallala Aquifer, we don't need to worry about this. Here's a water map of where water is going to start experiencing shortages over the next decade. In Nebraska is in the color region that says we will be experiencing regional water shortages within the next decade. This color map was made in 2013. We are halfway through this prediction model, meaning we have already started to experience some water shortages, and it'll be more prevalent within the next 5 years. And as you can see, the entire country is starting to experience these water shortages. There are only 8 states that will not experience water shortages within the next decade. Water is an invaluable resource that we need to respect and start using wisely instead of the wasteful, cavalier way we've been doing it for the past century. Nebraska will start experiencing water shortages. This means that the Ogallala Aquifer is starting to dry up. And we need to start respecting that fact. So this is bad. Water, safe water, is being depleted everywhere. What can you do? This is a worldwide problem. What can one person do? Well, you can start off at your home. The average Nebraskan uses approximately 78 gallons of water per day. That's a lot. Now, it's better than the national average, which is about 80 to 100 gallons per day. So good job, guys. But that number should still shock you with how much water you use. Where do you use that water? Well, if you take baths, 36 gallons a day. Showers, 2 gallons per minute. Faucets, 1.5 gallons per minute. Dishwasher, about 8 gallons per load. Clothes washing, about 25 gallons per load. Toilets, 1.6 gallons per flush. And outdoor watering is about 2 gallons per minute. This is a lot of water. But this is with the water efficient utilities. If you do not have the new water efficient devices and toilets, it's a lot more than this. Shower heads get up to 5 gallons a minute. Faucets, 3 to 5 gallons per minute. Dishwasher, up to 25 or 30 gallons per load. Clothes washing, 40 gallons per load. Toilets, 5 gallons per flush. This is a lot of water that each individual wastes every single day. So what can you do about this? Let's start with showers. You can save a lot of water by showers. First way is to take showers. Take showers, not baths. Baths waste significantly more water than taking a shower. Install an aerator in your shower. I have used an aerator before, and I honestly did not notice a difference between the aerator and the normal shower head. It produces the same pressure of water while using less water. So it's a good way to start conserving water. A very simple way is to start limiting your shower use. Most of us probably take a 10 to 20 minute shower every single day. You do not need such long showers. I started to time myself. It only takes about 4 minutes for me to thoroughly clean myself if that's my mission, to hop in the shower, clean myself, get out. A lot of that other time that people spend in the shower is just enjoying the rainfall. And this next one's a little gross, but take a shower every other day. If you do not work out or do not work in a physical labor job, there's no reason for you to take a daily shower. At the time of this video, Nebraska had experienced a water restriction due to all the flooding. To do my part, I started taking showers every other day. I thought I would start to smell, but I didn't particularly care because it was break. But I still hanged out with friends, I still hanged out with family, still went in public. No one noticed that I was taking showers every other day, and when I asked my friends and family, do you think I smell? They said no. You can take a shower every other day and it will be fine. I want that to be stressed upon you. Taking a shower every other day cuts your water usage down significantly and you'll be fine, I promise you. Next way to start saving water is at your faucets. First off, turn off the water unless you need it. This might sound simple and stupid, but when you're washing your hands, don't turn on the water as you're putting soap on. Wash your hands with soap and then rinse with water. And same thing goes when you're washing dishes. Only turn on the water when you're taking the soap off the dishes. Another way is to collect and reuse any water you can. An example of this is when you boil pasta for water. Instead of dumping that pasta water down the sink, wait for it to cool down and water your plants with it, or anything else you can think of. Have a lot of extra ice cubes after a party. Don't put those down the sink, water your plants with them. Another way you can save a lot of water with faucets is to collect all water you can from it into a bucket and use that bucket to flush your toilets. This does work, however, it's a bit extreme for what most people are willing to do. And the final one is just install an aerator on your faucet. Unless you have a new fancy faucet, you can probably install an aerator on your faucet, and once again, it's the same pressure of water, just uses less of it. So it's a good way to save water. How to save water using your dishwasher and clothes washer. Only run when it's full. Do not run on a half load or a quarter load. Only run your dishwasher or clothes washer when you have a full load to do. Try to run it on the most water efficient settings you can. This will vary from machine to machine, but the general idea is shortest time period to still clean your items. Use cold water to save energy, and don't use any special settings unless you absolutely have to. Once again, this varies from machine to machine, so use your best judgment. Now it's time to save water at the toilet. An easy way to do this is to install a 1 liter jug in the back of your toilet to displace water. All that water in that basin of your toilet gets used to flush your toilet. And that's a lot of wasted water, as we discussed earlier. If you can limit the amount of water that is in that basin, then you waste less water when you flush. And a gross one is, if it's yellow, let it mellow. There's absolutely no reason to flush when you pee. So stop doing it. You waste 1.6 to 5 gallons of water every time you flush, and pee does not need to be flushed. I promise you, it will be okay. So now it's time to save water in unconventional ways. We talked about how to save water in your home by just conserving or limiting your water use. So here's a pie diagram of how Nebraskans use water as the entire state, the entire populace. So this blue chunk right here is domestic. This is what we talk about. Domestically, we waste 534 million gallons of water per day. Let that number sink in. 534 million gallons of water per day. This is that domestic use we discussed earlier, also sewage, and any water that gets used for public. This is public watering, water fountains in public showering. Anywhere you can think of that's public or domestic, that's how much water we use. And industrial use, we use 60 million gallons of water per day. This is stuff like mining and factories. This big chunk over here, which uses 2.9 billion gallons of water a day, is to generate power. 2.9 billion gallons of water per day to make electricity. And this big segment, surprise to no one, is agriculture. 6.2 billion gallons of water per day. I'll not be discussing that segment as that requires its own video and its own topic. However, this is power, something we can control directly. And I want to start discussing with you how you can conserve water by conserving power. So how can you do this, saving water at the power plant? The easiest way is limit the use of your heating and cooling devices at your home. It is averaged that about 40% of your electric bill is used for heating and cooling. If you can limit that, you can start to limit your water usage. So tips for this. In summer, set your thermostat high so that your HVAC system has to work less. And in the winter, set your thermostat low so once again your HVAC has to work less. Another idea is during the winter, only put a space heater in the rooms that you are in a lot and have the rest of the house a bit colder. Your small heating unit will use less electricity than heating your entire home with your HVAC system. Another way to conserve power, and simplest way, is to just turn everything off when you're not using this. That means turn off your lights, turn off your computer, turn off your TV. Absolutely anything that you use that uses electricity, turn off when not in use. And you'll start to save a lot of power. And also unplug all appliances when you're gone for a while. If you're going to be gone for a week and not going to use your TV or your computer or dishwasher, unplug them when you're not going to use them for a long period of time. Because even if you have the device turned off, it still has potential to draw power from the grid and waste power. All these are good ways to save power and therefore save water. However, there's also a fun one we can do. Read a book, go outside, do a different activity other than watching TV or something on your computer. If you can find ways to entertain yourself that does not require power, that is a great way to start saving electricity. Because also, if you're outside and doing something, then that means you don't care about your lights and they can be turned off. And if you spend a good chunk of your time not in the home, you can set your thermostat to a temperature that will use less power. So today we talked about conserving water in Nebraska. Why do we care about this? The Oklahoma Aquifer is drying up. And a lot of other water sources for a lot of other people are also drying up. What can you do about it? Be conscious about how you use your water and limit that use. Just by thinking about it, you will start to use less water. Take shorter showers. Don't take baths. Don't flush the toilet unless you have to. Find ways to save your water and find unique ways to save your water. And the more important one is to save your electrical use. Only use electricity when you need it, because as you saw in that pie diagram, we use a lot of water by generating power, and we need to start limiting that use as well. Now, a benefit I have not mentioned yet is doing all this saves you a lot of money. If you can limit your water use and your electrical use, that saves a lot of money on that utility bill. As you saw on that previous slide, 40% of your electric bill comes from heating and cooling. Limit that use and you save money. My name is Ben Bevins. Thank you very much for listening.